for Spring 16, served as the president of the Students' Union for the term of 2015 and 2016. Mustafa is currently working as an HR group representative at Schlumberger Services, supporting and managing affairs of more than 650 employees. He led the Egyptian delegation at the World Youth Forum, presenting the Egyptian vision to combat terrorism in attendance of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. When he graduated, he joined Engage consulting firm that is specialized in in government relations and public strategy. He also worked with key corporates to develop rapport, promote mutual interests between the Egyptian government and the business players. He managed to create a social and impactful partnerships that narrowed down the communication gap between both parties. He also participated as a researcher in the Egyptian campaign of UNESCO leadership. Lastly, he was a speaker in one of the TED Talks in Egypt under the theme of "The Future Starts Now." He's always keen to give back to the community of AUC that has the biggest impact on his development and current career progress. Wherever he's requested, he enjoys delivering training and providing mentorship to the promising and current student leaders in the student activities in the universities. Please help me welcome Mustafa Gamal.
Esteemed President Francis Ricciardone, revered faculty, fellow students, and distinguished guests, good afternoon. I'm honored to be standing before you today at this exceptional occasion. I hold this institution a special place in my heart, and a profound gratitude for the level of development and personal growth that has happened here to me. When I trace and contemplate my first day at AUC, I actually laugh and make fun of myself. This due to the fact that I, during my first semester at AUC, had no belief or even an understanding why there are many students wasting so much time and effort in organizing an event, promoting for a conference, leaving their classes and assignments behind. I had this thought that the university is a place where we go to classes, take good notes and effective ones, excel in exams, and achieve the highest GPA. Yet, this perception was shifted when I took place in organizing an event for elders who had been treated with greed by their children, and each of them has his own life tragedy. However, the impact such event had on the elders and their psychological well-being then was remarkable. We had elders who were depressed, chanting, dancing, and interacting with the students. At this event, not only my perception toward activities changed, but also my belief in the amount of potential and power such student-led endeavors have. As a result, I started to explore and engage in development-oriented nature activities at AUC. I supported the efforts and worked closely as a student union member with the university administration to initiate a project called Alashanhum back then, to eradicate illiteracy and encourage and provide English and computer classes for the workers' community at AUC. That was a real inspiration, to see people seeking improvement, looking for development, and believing in their capabilities to change. The project again showed me that activities, no time is wasted, no energy is ill-exhausted, rather it is a value-creating time for oneself and others. For 2 years, I had served in different key leading positions in the student union and other organizations. Each year has had its successes that motivated us to move forward and enlarge opportunities. Failures that inspired us to learn from errors and continue confidently. Challenges that taught us to be resilient, adaptable to dynamic changes. My experience and services as the president of the student union has had an epoch-making effect on my development and learning. It cultivated my personal belief in the untapped potential that the youth has and the limitless capacity of one's development. Driven by unparalleled faith and confidence in the ability and the potential of the students at AUC, we always, during our tenure back then, advocated for students' inclusion and deployment of those experiences, knowledge, and successes in the educational mission of AUC. And I would like to seize this opportunity to highlight my deepest appreciation to His Excellency President Francis Ricciardone for his continuous support to the students' initiatives and endeavors at AUC. At AUC, I have reached some realizations and lessons. Because of extracurricular activities, I would love to share with you, maybe as a currently engaged and active citizen in the political scene, perhaps as a former graduate or even as a current HR professional, but most importantly, as an individual whose participation and engagement in activities presented an opportunities for him to develop and grow. Firstly, activities are more valuable than just the success of an event or a conference you work on. Rather, it is an accumulation of experiences and continuous change that you sense happening to your character and your abilities. Secondly, student life at AUC provides you with an exceptional opportunity to try and make mistakes and to realize your potentials. So please do not deal with it as if it is a perfectionist world or with a business mentality in which you are handling billions of dollars. Rather, as an incubator for your own development and your team growth and success. Thirdly, we all have dreams and life goals that are limitless and somehow tireless. Yet, your time here, whether in class or in plaza, is your primary steps to achieve those successes. Lastly, I would like to congratulate and commend the launch of the CCT transcript that will ensure both the students' academic knowledge and university experiences work in tandem to create an empowered graduate who does not only contribute to his field of study, but spread impact to his society. Congratulations, and keep challenging your fears, exploring as much as you can. Failures are inevitable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustafa. Now, allow me to welcome another AUC alumna and my very dear friend, Radwa Hamid. She graduated last winter with a double major in computer engineering and electronics. Radwa was the Secretary General of the 27th Simon and the chairperson of the HR and Development in Mustafa's term. Moreover, Hamid was selected in the Google internship program for 3 times. She's also the experience and data designer at the Rise Up Summit that has just taken place on AUC's Tahrir campus on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of December. In addition, Radwa and her team won first place at the NYU Abu Dhabi International Hackathon for Social Good in the Arab World for developing an application, Haya, a job portal platform and digital wallet that allows refugees to access job opportunities as well as manage their salaries and finances. Help me welcome Radwa. Thank you.
Honorable President, esteemed guests, and fellow students. On a printed sheet of paper lies those words: student name, Radwa Hamid, ID 911-2811, and GPA X. And this is all that meets the eye. 5.5 years of sleepless nights, midnight cravings, tears and smiles, and dance steps. And this is all what you're left of. A transcript of your grades in more than 210 credits in my case, and a bunch of really bad photos and extra pounds on your hips, and this is all that meets the eye. No one can see the knowledge, the experience, the memories, the people, the frustration, and the struggles. This is why the initiative of documenting how such huge flow of knowledge, which is essentially as important as academics, is taking place and is very important and disruptive. To be able to document this, to be able to have an officially recognized document that shows your parents, your recruiters, your professors, and anyone the intense experience you've accumulated over the years outside the classroom is important. It's what makes you more than the 8-digit ID number. Your undergraduate journey is a funnel. It helps you create a network of people, make an impact, and transcend experience from others into others. You're coming out from high school in a raw form, free-spirited, young, and ready to experience life. You don't know what to expect or how you will end up or who you'll end up meeting, but you know that you're expected to go to class, do your assignments, and meet deadlines. One aspect that AUC exposes from the very first day is extracurricular activities. Whether it's through your first encounter with your PAL advisors, your FYE peer leaders, or your SU contact person. Maintaining a high GPA while balancing extracurriculars is something that's seen as unorthodox. However, it has been the biggest challenge that I've encountered with my undergraduate years. I was lucky enough to be the person leading the 27th Cairo International Model UN. I was supported by a great team who set records and laid grounds for further successes. Simon was coming from a long struggle of balancing quality versus increasing exposure. This year, with the drive and motivation of very high calibers, we managed to do both. Not only this, but we also added a humanitarian and developmental aspect to it by starting Yadawi Initiative, which taught women in rural areas how to start their own jewelry businesses and help them sell their products. We secured funds and delegations, and we went to represent AUC in the National Model UN in New York, and we won Outstanding Delegation. As chair of HR and development in the AUC Student Union, my team and I developed a series of developmental projects for AUC and Egyptian community. And this is why I joined extracurriculars. I'm an impact-driven person. I work for the value proposed by the task, to know that a team you've led is now outgrown their capacities and that they're all in leading positions. To hear that an initiative that you've worked on had helped women in Batn al-Baqar become a revenue-generating community. To see a library for kids full with colors and books being built in Nubia is what keeps you going. There is more than a student can do outside the class that is effective. Joining internships has been by far the most rewarding experience I've ever been through. I encourage you, all students, to get out of your comfort zone, to take a leap of faith. This was the inflection point in my student career, to be able to travel alone, to join internships abroad, to work with very high calibers, to be able to show the world what I've been learning for the past 5 years. I've always wanted to show them this, how I've changed, how I've grown, how I've developed. I no longer need to rely on my Facebook timeline to remind me that this specific day, I moved to another city to start an internship or signed the contracts for a partnership. Or I can keep track of my KPIs and my growth rate over the years, and this is what was summed up in something more than a number out of 4.0. I advise every single undergraduate in this room to make use of those years, join competitions, do sports, register in workshops, but more importantly, create those opportunities for other students as well. Become a leader in what you do, develop yourself and those around you. Make an impact. Don't confine yourself to your ID number. Define your ID to the number of people you learn from, the number of people you teach, the number of lives you impact, and then document it in the CCT. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Radwa. Now I invite Mr. Mohammed Al-Fadli, and we're going to go with a live demo of how the CCT works.
Hello, everyone. I would like first to thank Dean Marquis for holding this amazing event, for launching the co-curricular transcript, and I would like to thank everyone who contributed in making this project come to life. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Mohammed Al-Fadli. I'm working as a student information system in the banner team in the UIS under the Office of Information Technology. I received my bachelor degree from AUC and hopefully will get my master this semester. Being part, as an AUC alumni who participated in a lot of activities back then in the old campus, and now being part of AUC administration, I have good understanding of the two sides, the student side and the administration side. And I'm really excited for launching this incredible project as I feel how it will impact a lot of students' life and AUC future. So before the live demo, I would like to walk you through the CCT project. So let's recap what CCT is. As mentioned before, the CCT is a user-friendly online interface designed to provide students with a comprehensive records of their activities and achievement outside the classroom. Students are able to review their activity, directly edit any needed information, and generate their transcript through the self-service SSB banner co-curricular transcript model. How to start it? The CCT model integrated in Banner ERP was first adopted by the Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Indiana, and they willingly shared their solution, knowledge and experience with us. I'm proud to say that I was involved in this project since the initiation of communication with Rose Hallman, back then with Ahmed Zourani. A lot of time and effort were spent to analyze their model and to define the AUC requirements for each and every stakeholder. Then we customized the source code, developed new modules for every stakeholder, and finally, we succeeded in developing our own customized version of CCT that serves AUC needs. As mentioned before, these are the project stakeholders. Everyone has its own module inside the co-curriculum, as we are going to demo shortly. Now I'll be walking you through the process of submitting, verifying, and issuing a CCT. So for the submission process, the students logs in using AUC email credential to self-service banner. Students submit a new activity, and an email notification is sent to the student. For the verification process, the verifier logs in using his AUC email credentials to banner, reviews activities submitted by the students, and once a decision is taken, an email notification is sent to the student. We have two transcripts. The unofficial transcript can be downloaded directly from the self-service banner. The official transcript will be issued from the Office of Student Engagement. And this is a sample of the official transcript. All the records here are verified by AUC staff members. So now let's have the fun part and have a demo. Please, Emily, come. Now Emily will log in to AUC thing. Yes.
Go to the student tab.
Yeah, the co-curricular module, as you can see, it's under the student tab. It has 7 tabs. The first tab of the landing page is for generating the co-curricular transcript. Please, Emily, click on the co-curricular transcript. This will download a PDF version of your transcript. Of course, there's no records now verified, so the transcript is empty. Now, Emily, we will, for this sake of demo, the other 6 tabs for the stakeholder, Emily will now try to submit an activity for the student orientation as a PAL president. Can you open your email? Upon saving, there should be a notification email sent to Emily. As you can see, this is a confirmation email for her submission. Now, for the sake of the demo, I will act as the verifier and will verify Emily activity. No, so I will do it from the back end. If you go back to your email, you will find the notification email. As you can see, after approval her activity, there is an email sent to Emily confirming that her activity was approved. If you go back to the transcript and try to generate it again, you will find the activity. Go to the first tab, transcript. Click on the transcript. See, you will find, the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I would like now to invite Mr. President to come and say a word, and I want to thank him as well for all his support. Do you want to do this or this?
Sure. I'll do this. You use it very effectively, so I will too. It's a really, really great pleasure to be with you. Every day at AUC, I can feel a little progress here, a little there. I get to see it from where I sit. I'm sure even I don't see it all. In fact, especially I don't see it all from where I am. But it's good when the community comes together to celebrate these advances. We have to remind ourselves, despite the stresses and strains of today's Egypt and so forth, AUC is something special and really plugging forward. This is particularly important for all the reasons that Dean Marquis and Emily and these fabulous speakers have pointed out, Mustafa and Radwa. It's been a team effort, it's been a grind, it's been tedious, it's taken all the hard work, the back office work, the IT work, and it's all come together. A magic happens when you do teamwork here. So it's really something that makes me proud and happy and delighted to be with you every day at AUC and to try to serve and support it. We have a nice cross-section of our students, faculty, and staff. I'm always delighted when our Parents Association president, Dr. Maha Abdel Nasser, comes to these things. Thank you. It shows we really are a larger than usual community in American and international higher ed. With the Parents Association, with the Student Union, with the faculty and staff. When I first came over a year ago, I was talking with people about how we celebrate what's great here and take it forward and get beyond this miasma and the stress and strain of today's Egypt and reimagine the student experience. And a number of projects we talked about. Then we got blown off course for a bit when the national crisis hit over the crash of the Egyptian pound, and we dealt with that. But it blew us off, it distracted a bit. We're back on course, I believe. The reason this is of particular interest to me is because the outside world might look at it as something bureaucratic. It's a transcript, after all. Or mundane, or even the very word used to be extracurricular. Now they say co-curricular, as if that's not part of the essence of what we do, part of the magic of AUC. But it actually is. Something else we've been at work on here, I'll introduce tonight, and you're going to, I think, hear me using this a lot. I didn't bring enough. I don't know if there's one on each table, but if you've seen it, it's not an individual business card, it's an AUC mission card. And it's new. And we have lots of them. I just didn't bring enough tonight. Drop by the front office on any pretext. This can be excuse enough. We've got more, and we'll be spreading them around. It states our name, the American University in Cairo, which is pretty definitive. But then it says Egypt's Global University. Also describes who we are, what we are. What we're doing here tonight is directly related to that. It's the first in the region as far as we can tell. And we've checked. Aisha has told me, and Vice President Hanan have told me. Egypt's Global University, we play on the world stage. This is big. This is something new in the region, new in Egypt. I hope it'll take off. Other part of the front part of the card, what's our mission? What do we do here? Egypt's Global University, inspiring explorers for lifelong journeys of challenge, discovery, innovation, and service. Of course we do that in our coursework. All the great research and study that goes into the degrees and the majors and all of that, that's all really good stuff. It doesn't make us so distinct from a lot of other universities, because a lot of other universities, even in Egypt, do a lot of good coursework and so forth. We think we do it especially well. I don't mean to diminish it. But there's nothing extra or about this. This is integral to the AUC experience. Radwa and Mustafa used the word leadership. That's part of what we try to inculcate here, and these co-curricular activities are where students lead, students initiate, students plan, students gather the resources, students create the program, they update it, they organize, they make teams, they learn how to lead, they learn how to follow, they learn how to do both alternately, which is what the essence of great teams are. The back of the card captures our values. I didn't make this up. This was a kind of a group effort from our strategic planning process. passion. You heard it in the speakers that were here before. Real passion in what we do here together, even something that could look administrative, but it's actually transformative. Responsibility. People came together and took this on as our project. Not the administration's project, not a student thing, ours. We took responsibility. Integrity, verifying everything, doing it right, keeping the standards up, that's us. Diversity, the cross-disciplinary nature of all of this. Excellence, at the end of the day, is what it's about. By the way, if you read down, passion, responsibility, integrity, diversity, excellence, it adds up to pride. Look on the card there. And of course, you've heard me many times before talk about our catechism of the 4 C's of liberal arts, American-style liberal arts education: critical thinking, creativity, communication, collaboration, in our student-centered, faculty-led, and staff-enabled university. This is a great example of it. I wanted to put this card out here to show this isn't a sideshow, it's not administrative, it's not a paperwork kind of exercise. It is part of the everyday definition of why we're so unique and great and proud and producing of leaders. So congratulations once again to the entire team for conceiving this, for executing, for pushing, 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 not letting it go. Let's keep doing more of this all the time, every day. Mabruk.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd now like to, can you come here? We're going to give the awards. Dr. George, Aisha. Our first award goes to Aisha for working on this. She's the CCT officer. She's worked tirelessly on it. Our second award goes to Ms. Rana Al-Harthi, who has initiated it and worked on this project for years. Our third award goes to Mr. Muhammad Al-Fadli for working tirelessly on this.
And Emily John